Well, it's certainly a historic rivalry, one that, goes across the country no matter what sport you're talking about, as big as any. And, this time of year, to me, it's a really good time to be playing this game. You spend so much emotion on the weekends in the Big 12 or the SEC that a lot of times you got to do an awful great job to get your teams ready to play on Tuesday night. And tomorrow should be no problem for either program. The kids have known each other, grown up competing against one another, and it ought to be a great game tomorrow night, and it ought to be great for the fans. We ought to have a great crowd. The weather's supposed to be good, and it should be a lot of fun. I do like playing a little bit later. Each program is starting, to get to the middle of conference play, and I think it's that time of year where, everybody's locked in on a Tuesday, which doesn't happen often this time of year. They're playing incredibly well. They lost the first 2 games at Kansas State a couple of weeks ago, found a way to win on Sunday, and here they've run 6 in a row off, coming off a sweep against Baylor and doing a really good job. Clemens is a guy that, can really raise your blood pressure. Very competitive kid, and he's really hot from an offensive standpoint, and big, strong, physical kid hitting behind him. Zubias can challenge the fences from foul pole to foul pole. So they're hot. They're playing really well right now. We feel the same way. It ought to be a great game tomorrow. Chandler Jazawak will throw for us tomorrow and, get us off to a good start. Through the weekend, we didn't overload our bullpen, so we have everybody available tomorrow and just want to get off to a good start and continue to play well. I think it's good. I mean, and I think for the reasons I said earlier in the interview is to continue to keep that rivalry going. Everybody's juices are flowing. I think it's great for the fans, and certainly playing at this time of the year is really good for us, and I think for the University of Texas as well. I would love it on our side. Certainly a stress-free game. I'd be all for that tomorrow if I get a vote, but I wouldn't expect that. I would expect a hard-fought game, and it come down to the last inning, and it ought to be a lot of fun. Both teams are really good. Both teams are really playing well, and certainly have their sights set on postseason.
I mean, yeah, you can't take it any differently, but of course there's a lot of history between the 2 programs, and I think it will be just as fun for all the fans. There's a lot of people that grew up hating one side or the other, and I think it will be really fun tomorrow night. I mean, it's always going to be a good game. When you get a big rivalry like that, talent's usually pretty equal, but years, even when it's not, it's all canceled out with just being a big-time rivalry. So, I mean, it's definitely going to be a close game like it has been the last 2 or 3 years. And I guess last time we played here, we ended it on a walk-off. So hopefully it's not like that, but we'll see what happens. I mean, I guess. I grew up a big Aggie fan, and my family's really big Aggies. So I was kind of grew up, I guess, not liking the Longhorns at all. So I guess it means quite a bit to me, yeah. I think a lot of people that grew up, I'm sure there's a lot of guys in the locker room that grew up bleeding maroon, and I guess if you're one side dominant in the family, you usually grow up not really liking the other side too much. So I'm sure there's both sides on that, but I think it means a lot to me personally, getting to play in that. I mean, it's a really special game, and I guess 10 years from now, looking back on that, I think it will be a pretty cool memory to have.
Yeah, this is definitely the big rival game. Didn't really know anything about it until I got here. Being able to experience it last year when we went and played them at their place, it was definitely a whole different atmosphere for me. Being able to play here with the 12th man behind us, I think it's going to be real exciting. It was unbelievable. People have been saying lately that this game's been sold out for about a month and a half, 2 months, and I'm just really excited to see the 12th man in full force tomorrow night. Yeah, the weekend series win this weekend was really good for us. Definitely a lot of momentum for us. Moving forward for tomorrow, we're definitely just going to come out and give it our best shot, and we're going to take it one pitch at a time and try to block out the exterior factors and just do us. They can definitely swing the bats, and they have a really good pitching staff and a good bullpen. It's going to be a dogfight like any other game that we play, and we're just going to come out and we just got to be ready to go from the get-go.